Thank you all for joining us for this session of the Whole Health series. I'm Whitney Ortiz, the founder of Whole Health Self-Care and the host of the series. I am so excited to have with us Cherrill Hutchinson. Cherrill is the founder of the Black Women's Kindness Initiative, a self-development platform for women of color. The initiative aims to uplift, encourage, and empower women to prioritize self-care and make positive changes in their lives in order to step out of the shadows, challenge stuck mindsets, and embrace opportunities for growth. The Black Women's Kindness Initiative helps women live their lives through the best versions of themselves. Ms. Hutchinson is a qualified humanistic counselor and mental health practitioner in London who is passionate about raising awareness on the importance of self-care for women's mental and emotional well-being. Thank you so much for sharing your work here with us, Cherrill.
Thank you for inviting me.
To start off this session, can you please share what self-care really means to you within this time of human history?
Okay, well, self-care in today's world, self-care is an act of self-defiance as we challenge our innate nature to nurture and care for others. And what we do is we do that before we nourish our own needs. And when I say that, what I mean is if we look at society and how we're almost programmed as women, we are very much caregivers and we're nurturers. If we think about when we're from when we're small, we have our dolls, we care for them, we look after them, we're nurturing them, we don't even realize what we're doing. As the early conditioning, we might become girl guides or brownies, and we're giving again of ourselves, and that's something. Those two examples, kind of going back from such an early age and early conditioning, is something that we give and do naturally. And so, and then as we kind of get older and we're fighting against things that we see in the media, where it's very much about you have these women who look like they have it all together and they look like they're having the perfect lives. We got adverts where we're kind of carers or cleaners, and so the defiance is us saying, hold on a minute, stop. Where am I in all this? Where am I? Now, where's my opportunity to care for myself? And so that's kind of when we have to be defiant and say, we have to kind of draw the line and put ourselves forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, such an important message. And how do you find that the women with whom you've worked or engaged have been able to really prioritize themselves while still having to care for so many others and want to as well through the work that they choose in their life, very mission-driven work, etc.?
Yeah. I would say, first of all, believing in yourself. Believe in yourself and who you are without judgment. That's the beginning of your self-discovery, your journey into self-discovery. Believing in yourself. And that's the key. So what can happen is to prioritize ourselves. With the women I've worked with, in my experience, there's this feeling of guilt, feeling that they should be filling their time with something else, but to do it for themselves feels uncomfortable, feels that they should be doing something, yes, but not for them. We should be caring. We should be, our jobs are around our many roles of, whether it be mother, daughter, sister, working in the workplace, whatever our many hats that we wear and the many juggles that we kind of juggle in the air. And we do those effectively the best that we can. But when it comes to actually prioritizing our own self-care, there's unfortunately this feeling of guilt and feeling and even people saying they feel ashamed, that they don't really feel they're not worthy there's this feeling of their
Mhm.
self-worth and value. They don't kind of promote that or kind of put that center enough.
Mhm.
So it becomes foreign. And so being able to prioritize becomes very uncomfortable. And that's the sad thing about it. And that's kind of why, for me, self-care, has to be pushed forward. The awareness has to be raised so
Mhm.
much more.
Oh, completely. And that whole tie-in between the self-care, self-worth, self-love, and really accompanying women in that process of saying, it's time to really just give yourself
Mm.
that self-love and to feel that worth within for who you are. Can you talk a little bit more about that and through the work that you're doing?
Yeah, it's self-care, because at the moment it's kind of it's become a bit of a buzzword. And
Mhm,
unfortunately, because it's become a buzzword, it's kind of watered it down
mhm,
slightly. And it just kind of, my fear is, and what I've tried to promote quite fiercely, is actually self-care this is about our survival. This is about our existence. This is about keeping our mind, body, soul, our spirit whole. We
mhm,
have to, this is our holistic well-being that we need to kind of embrace and really be in the driving seat to keep ourselves well enough in order to kind of carry out the many hats that we may carry. So
yeah,
it's something which, almost the name doesn't do it enough justice, because it really is about us keeping ourselves in control and surviving through and navigating through these difficult times we're dealing with currently,
yeah,
and even outside of that, because we carry a lot on our shoulders. We are educators, we are nurturers, we are caregivers, um, and to have the energy and the purpose behind doing all that, we have to really look after ourselves. We have to almost recognize that our bodies, our minds, our kind of spirits need nourishing. And
mhm,
we're the ones that have to do that. It is down to us. I mean, a lot of times we might look elsewhere and kind of think, well, it's not happening. I'm feeling really tired and depleted, and somebody else needs to do this thing for me. But actually, we need to pull back, take the power back for ourselves, and recognize, our bodies are a temple, our minds are precious, and be able to realize we need to nourish ourselves. It is about survival of our own existence, and that's the importance of it, and that's really not to underestimate. When we say self-care, there's so much more behind it.
oh, yeah,
It's
no,
it's a
completely.
huge thing.
And is that one of the reasons why you've included the word kindness in your initiative? Wow.
Kindness is so key, and again, it's one of those things which we take for granted. I
Mm,
feel that you know people may do random acts of kindness, but I'm very much about the what they're calling, what kind of almost an underground movement of the kindness economy, which is the
mhm,
importance of recognizing that the kindness is actually good for our well-being. It's good for our mental well-being. You know, even to kind of have that the contact of hugging somebody for, I think it's believed, more than 20 seconds releases these happy hormones that actually are good for our mental well-being. Actually showing an act of kindness, giving somebody some kindness, but also to ourselves, it affects our stress levels in a positive way. It helps with anxiety in a positive way, because it's allowing us to release and almost exhale within our bodies, because we can be so tense and so uncomfortable, not realize. But just engaging and connecting with others in a positive way, whether we're um, doing something which we know, and whether it's helping a friend, and that act will make you feel good within yourself, but not forgetting you need acts of kindness to yourself. So taking the time and finding that thing that's going to make you feel good within yourself.
mhm,
Show yourself some kindness. Put that time away, whether it's half an hour, 10 minutes, and do something for you. Show yourself, because we readily and very easily give to others. We will help the neighbor. We will help a friend when they're on the other line on the phone, and I need your help. We'll give them an hour on the phone. But taking that time to recognize that kindness has to start with you. And
Mm,
so for me to put that in the initiative as the Black Woman's Kindness, what we're saying is we want you to recognize it's important to take time for yourself, to show yourself kindness. We're going to start it with us. We're
mhm,
going to show you what kindness can look like, because we want to have the platform where kindness is at the center.
mm,
And from that, we will kind of move forward with everything that we do. You will be welcome. You will feel safe. We will show you kindness. We will encourage kindness. And so it starts as the center, the hub of what we stand for. So it's really a key value. And really we just can't underestimate the importance of kindness.
so beautiful. And how can people get involved in the work that you're doing through the initiative or otherwise?
Well, we're on Facebook. Facebook, if you look at the Black Women's Kindness Initiative, you'll find us. We'll pop up, and we're also on Instagram. And we are putting together a forum now for the Black Women's Kindness. So we welcome people who might want to get involved, because in the new year we'll be running some programs. I'm developing a woman's program, which will be workshops, which will be healing workshop and creative workshops. Will be quite craft driven, and within the craft there'll be some healing activities, just by kind of telling our stories in kind of a very craft driven manner. We'll be looking at self-care. We'll be looking at the barriers, the boundaries, what are the kind of may stop us from being able to accept self-care. So yeah, I mean, Facebook, you can drop us a line via Facebook, and the same with direct message on Instagram. Really welcome, and look forward to hearing from anybody who might want to find out more about us.
Oh, that's so wonderful. And you also bring into this the whole importance of community. And in this time where we are physically separated often through the internet and the work that you're doing being a lot online, people around the world can be a part of this and really building this as a movement with kindness at its center and giving permission, right, to women. We need it sometimes to
Mm,
just say, this is so important for survival. Like if it's something nice to do, or like I'll get to it, or it's going to be there at some point. If I just get through all this other stuff first, it's just never going to get
mm,
done. And then the health issues come out in some way, right? Physical, mental, emotional, etc. And
exactly.
so as you're framing it in this way, it's really causing so many women to say, "Oh yeah, huh, this is really important. Like I really have to do this and I'm going to create the space for this." And calling on those around you to
Mm,
listen, right? And saying, "Okay, everyone else, I need."
exactly. Completely, absolutely. It is. If I was able to reach one woman and she was to say, I heard what you said, and what I've done now, I've taken myself away from the chaos, and I've sat down and found myself some peace. I found myself some silence. I've taken some time to really explore what I need to feed myself. Then I'd be like, okay, job done. I'm happy. To
Mhm.
be able to reach someone, to start to sow the seed,
Yeah.
to recognize it has to start with you, and it has to kind of move from there in order for you to be your best self, to be any good to anybody else. And it is really about, you mentioned about community, and it is a community. And
Mm.
so a community, what we're saying is the Black Women Kindness is about community. The center is kindness. We want to be able to build that platform to show you that you can be your best self. You can believe in yourself. You are of value. You are worth it. We hear you, we see you, and we want
Mhm.
you to feel special within yourself. And this is what we really want to stand for.
I love how you are having various different opportunities so people can connect through Facebook, see empowering images and words and phrases through the Instagram post,
Mm,
and also engage in very intimate group-based practices to really connect the
mm,
human to human connection of growing and learning and just being, right?
completely. completely. We have something which we call the sister to sister chat, which is on monthly at the moment.
Mhm.
And it is really about coming together, finding those topics that mean something to us as women, sharing them, having that safe space. There's no judgment. We're talking between each other. We're helping, we're holding, we're supporting. Obviously, it's online, it's virtual, but the space is there for us to do that. And the connection will be there because it's about connecting. And right now, this is what we have. And so, this is what we're going to try and utilize and still provide the safe space, still provides somewhere people can connect. And again, you can't underestimate to say, we hear you.
Mhm.
We're going to listen.
Mhm.
You could just come and just be quiet if you want to, but just know you're in a space which is safe and amongst women that want to hear and want to support. With the things that you might not be able to speak to somebody about. You could have a house full of people, you could have your family around you, but you still can't talk because the things you want to share, they might not quite get it. For all intents and purposes, they might not, and so you end up holding it within yourself, and then
Mhm.
that can affect your well-being eventually.
Mhm.
So it is important for Black women kindness to offer these spaces that women can come together and share and talk.
Mhm. Mhm. Yep, no judgment, even anonymously, like you offer so many different ways. And you
Mm,
bring into it your expertise within the mental health space
mm,
and being a counselor, and thus you're engaging with women from various backgrounds, experiences,
mm,
etc. And so that wholeness of it, I would say,
mm.
is really so beautiful. And I really appreciate your sharing through here so that many other women can become involved and know about the beautiful work that you're doing. So thank you so
Oh,
much.
my pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you.